What's up, my fellow Patagonians? It's your boy Mario Fama, FTF. And today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about banks. People have sent me some videos. A lot of influencers are talking about banks. They give all this different advice and stuff like that. So let me give you guys my experience of almost 10 years doing business, car loans, and just learning how mortgages, how everything works here with the banks. So this video is for people that do not have a cellular. If you have a cellular, log off, go get a beer, cógelo con tequerici, okay? Because it's not for you. But for everybody else, I'm going to give you guys a breakdown from my experience and the experience of many people that I've dealt with over the last almost 10 years of being a business person through multiple parts of this country and multiple cities, right? Number one is Banco Popular. Stay away from them. They're going to make it very difficult. They're just not really expat friendly. If you don't have a cedula, I wouldn't even bother. Scotiabank, though they give the best mortgages, best mortgage rates to foreigners, they are a pain to deal with. I've had horrible experiences. They made me drive from Punta Cana to Cabarete saying I could do something and I couldn't. It's just, they really, just the customer service, in my opinion, I'm being straight up, has not been stellar. I've sent them numerous clients over the last 9+ years, and it's just not, again, they will give you, if you're willing to go through the pain, they will give you a good rate on the mortgage if you're buying with a mortgage here, but it's just not a pleasure doing business with them. Banco Santa Cruz, they used to be really good with expats. They've gotten a little bit, now to get a mortgage, they want you to have a Dominican with a cedula or whatever. And I have another video that I'll put up when it comes to mortgages. They're okay, right? BHD, again, they're pretty decent working with expats, but they have limitations. Now, if you own a business in the Dominican Republic and you have 2 closed years in taxes, Banco Santa Cruz, BHD are going to be your best options, and BHD is number one. Why? Because after 2 closed years of taxes on your business, if you have an SRL, then you can develop credit, you can get a mortgage. It used to be under the company's name. Now they give it to you personally with the company as a co-signer. So through Santa Cruz and through BHD, but especially through BHD, if you have 2 closed years, you're running a small business here or whatever, you'll be able to build credit. You'll be able to finance a car at a dollar rate, not the crazy peso rate. You'll be able to get a dollar mortgage rate if you're moving dollars. So they're the best for non-cedula holders that do business here in the Dominican Republic. Banreservas, you can open up an account with them and everything like that. You can get your debit card. I think they're the only ones that have MasterCard in the whole country. It works for like tickets for concerts and stuff like that. They usually give them preferential treatment. But again, they're not going to be able to do anything for you if you don't have a cedula. The one bank that I have had, I've never had business accounts with them, is Banco López de Haro. They're only in Santiago, Santo Domingo, and Punta Cana. And they are pretty expat friendly. They give mortgages to expats. You know, not always the best rates like Scotia, but they're easier to work with. And they gave me personal credit. I have a line of credit for like 50,000 pesos. I never tried to get that up. And I have a credit card that was at 50,000 pesos, and they were up to 100,000 when I asked them. And it's what do you call it? It's a like they're company cards, right? So it's for Almacén Unidos. I get 5% back on anything I spend in Almacén Unidos. If you're from the North Coast, you don't know what that is. That's in Santo Domingo. That's in Punta Cana. They're like superstores, supermarkets, hardware, and everything. I get a benefit from that. Also, if you run a business, even if you don't have a cedula, through Banco Santa Cruz, I have the Bravo card, so I get 5% back on Bravo. I also have a black card with them, which allows me certain VIP access certain times a year through the Santiago or Santo Domingo airport. If you've ever been through before boarding, it's amazing. It makes going through customs with a drink in your hand amazing. So I've had a blast with them. And also with BHD, I have an infinite business card, credit card under my name, and that also gives me a lot of benefits with before boarding and all these other things. So there are benefit cards that you can get once you have a business and you have 2 closed years usually they're looking for. Now, your experience with the bank is going to be just as good as your representative is. If you have a great representative, they'll tell you what to do, how to do it, and they'll make you, they'll help you, maximize what you want to do at a bank in this country. If your rep sucks, try to change them because you're not going to get anywhere with them. And lastly, I want to talk about cooperativas. Se llama cooperativo, como Asociación Cibao, associations, cooperativas, and places like that. Though they tend to be more lenient when you're getting a mortgage for 120,000 below and certain things, these things are used by el pueblo, your average lower income Dominican. A lot of people from the barrio that are used to that, from the regular neighborhoods, they're used to them. Associations are kind of like banks, but they have less regulation than a bank. They're a lot easier to work with in certain, because they don't have so many government regulations. But if you're going to go get a credit card, if you're going to go, credit card rates here are through the up to 70%, some of them or whatever. It's crazy. But with an association, if you're trying to get a mortgage, if you're trying to get a car loan, you're always going to pay top and then a little bit more. They're easier, more flexible, easier to deal with, but te lo va a dar la madre. Cha, 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 cha. I don't recommend expats deal with that. And you'll have, if you have like friends, spouses, girlfriends that are local, they'll be like, no, let's go to association, whatever. And you won't know. You think, oh my God, whatever. But everything you do there is going to be a tasa that you really don't want. So I hope that helps. Not all banks are the same. Some have different benefits for people that don't have cedulas, and some are better for people that don't have cedulas and have businesses here in Dominican Republic. If you have any questions, hit me up, drop it in the comments. And that's the 2 and 2 on banks in DR.